Okay, the purpose of this video is to show you how we can um, make maybe sending emails a little more automated and a little quicker. And what we're going to utilize for that is we are going to utilize mail merge. So we need to make sure we have that add-on. So when we are in a Google Sheet, we will go to our add-ons. If you do not have mail merge with attachments, make sure we get it. Okay. Once we get it, we are then going to enable it. So I already have it downloaded. I'm going to enable mail merge. You can see my screen is working. It is enabling mail merge. Okay, now it is ready to use. All right, so what I'm then going to do is I'm going to then create a merge sheet. And what this does, right, a merge sheet is a sheet where it can pull any data we have on there. And it can transport that into an email, right? So anything I write in any of these cells, right, it can pull this text, any data we have, and put that in an email. So that's what we're doing right now. So I'm going to create a merge sheet. And what you will see on the bottom is it created a mail merge sheet, which is separate from the first sheet I had. All right, you may want this sheet to have, anything, right? It can contain anything you want, but anything on this sheet will not be emailed. Only the information on the merge sheet will be emailed. And you can see it gave us automatic titles or columns, right? It gave us first name, last name, email address, file attachments, schedule date, and mail merge status. Right, so pending on how you're going to use this, right, I am going to use this to import and to email students and parents. So I can automate this a little easier by maybe pasting a student roster and student emails and parent emails into this sheet and then running formulas just to grab that. Otherwise, you can just manually type in all this data. My email address. Right, up to you. All right, anyway, let's get into the fun part. All right, so there's a few things we're going to do. First and foremost, we're going to need to create some columns. So I'm going to insert a few columns after last name. And for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to insert 3 of them. Okay, one button we will need. We will need a do not email button. Okay. And then for every automatic response you want, you will then need to have another column that coordinates with it. So if I have one response, I will really need 2 columns. If I want 2 responses, I will really need 4 columns. And this is why. So think about all the general things you may, send each day to parents or wish you could. Right? You wish you could tell a parent every single time the student did not turn in a homework, but because that's so much work, right, we typically don't. Right? So maybe you want a response saying 4 did not turn in today's homework. All right, so that will be our automatic, or that will be our automated response, but I will need a column to directly go along with that. All right, so this is how this works, right? For every response, for everything we want to type out in an email, we will insert a checkbox underneath, right? And checkboxes have a false value or a true value pending if it's clicked or not. So we are going to use that to our advantage. So if this button is clicked, it is true. If this button is unclicked, it is false. So this column, response 1, is going to directly correlate with did not turn in today's homework. So the way this then works is as such. I'm going to create an if formula solely based on this column, D2, this checkbox. And remember, if it is unchecked, it is false. Right? So when we create our if formula, we're going to determine it off of D2 when unchecked is false, when checked is true. So when it is unchecked, maybe I want it to say, this is just a reminder, or this is just a notification that your student did not turn in today's homework. Whatever you want to say, right? And you'll put it in parentheses. And then when it is unchecked, we want it blank, so we'll put a double parentheses with nothing in between, right? So again, the way this formula works is it is checking D2. If it is checked, it'll read whatever message I have in here because I put that in parentheses, right? Those parentheses are important. And then comma, if it is unchecked, I want it to be blank. So I'm going to put two parentheses with nothing there, meaning it's blank. So watch what happens when I press this. When I press this button, boom, right? I now have the text in there that I would normally generate in an email, right? And maybe you, again, the purpose of this is because you probably have a lot of students, right? So if you can then copy this formula down for all your students, you know, and maybe student A turned in their homework, but Matthew and student B did not, right? So now I will send an email, or now I shouldn't say I will, now we will automate an email to these parents and students, or to whoever, counselor, whatever you want to add to this, right? Saying, this is a notification that your student did not turn in today's homework. So whatever you want the email to say, you can put in there. And again, you can create as many of these as you want, right? Just remember which response goes with it. So if you want to create another one, right? Had a great day in class. I'll need a response to go with that. And again, I'm just calling this response one. You can call this, you know, did not turn in today's homework. So it correlates, right? It's up to you on what you want to call it, but you need two columns for each one. And again, right, our formula, we are going to say equals if we want this to relate to E. When it is checked, we can say, you know, your student had a wonderful day in class today. Please ask them all about it, right? And again, we want that in quotes. That's if it's checked, then we'll do a comma. If it's unchecked, we want it blank. And so I'll put a double quote there and we will hit enter. All right, again, I could copy this down for all my students. You know, maybe Matthew had a great day and student A had a great day. So you can see now that Matthew has two responses, right? Student A has this one and student B still has their one. And again, you can create all of this. All right, so the way mail merge works is it will only send an email if you provide an email address, which is where this do not email button or column comes in. So I'm going to insert a checkbox here as well. And I'll insert this for all my students. Right, I'm going to run the same formula, right? In this box, right? It's going to rely off of C2. If it is checked, I want this blank. If it is unchecked, I want this to send an email to their email address. So I'm going to put fenwickfriars.com. And if there are multiple email addresses, you can put a comma, and I'll just put my email in here again. But you can put as many email addresses separated with comma and then making sure to end in quotes, right? So if this is do not email, right, this is now blank, meaning it will not send an email to this person. If it is unchecked, that means I want to email them. We can see that these emails are in here. So this is a little bit of work, right? Because you will have to type all your students' emails, right? We can copy this formula down. However, right, student A does not have my email address, right? Nor does the parents. So you will have to change the student email pending on what it is actually. Right? And then all we need to do is to actually create our email. So it's very simple. Let's go back to our add-ons. We'll go back to mail merge and we will configure mail merge. Okay, so the purpose of this, oops. What do I have a duplicate of? So I forgot, I did these exactly the same. If you have duplicate columns, mail merge will not work. So you have to make sure that your titles are different. That should be enough for when I actually run my mail merge. Let's see, that should hopefully work now. Did not turn in today's homework. No homework. Right, so you cannot have the same column headers, right? So please make sure, right, you don't run into that mistake like I just did. Right, so now when we hit configure, right, we're going to create our email. This is kind of up to you if you want to get more fancy about it. If you want to have your name in here, great. If you want to CC it or BCC it to anyone else, you could. Again, there's really no reason to that because you already have your email addresses in here, but maybe you want to BCC a counselor or whatever. You have that option. Again, all options for you to choose from. The big one we need is this email template though. So you have the option of a visual editor, a Gmail draft, or to code your own. Visual editor is kind of the easiest and most user friendly. So what this does is it allows us to create our generic email. So let's do that. So to do that, we will hit this edit button and it's going to prompt open an email where we can write an email that will be generated for every email we want to send out, right? So we're going to enter the body here, right? Again, you can use HTML if you know it, and we are going to use our column titles to get all this info in here. So let's start with the basics. What do we want this email to say every single time? You can say, good day. This email is from Mr. Barabaz, who is your students, right? Depending on how many they have, math teacher. All right, and you can get as fancy as you want. Now, maybe you want to get more personal. You don't want to say your student, but maybe you want to include the actual student's name. So what's very nice is, right, any of these column headers that we have, first name, last name, do not email, do not do any of these column headers we have, we can insert into our email and it'll pull directly from that. So this email is from Mr. Barabas, who is, or maybe I want to put the student's name. So I'm going to insert merge field and I will put first name. Right now, you can type this yourself if you know your columns headers by doing this double curly bracket. Right, so maybe the email subject, right? I want email for, I'll do double curly bracket, and I just need to make sure it matches exactly my column head. So I'm going to type in here first name and that with the double curly bracket. So this is going to read for Matthew. It'll say email for Matthew. this email is from Mr. Bearbas, who is Matthew, and we probably want to be grammarly correct, right? So I'll put an apostrophe as Matthew's math teacher. And again, the purpose of this email is for, and it's up to you then, right? So this is all the generic, but I want to fill in, I want this email to fill in what I checked, right? So again, it's up to you on how you kind of want to say it, but then I want to make sure my column headers are in there. So my one column header was no homework. My other column header was had a great day. All right. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay, so again, it just built a very generic email, right? This doesn't really make too much sense, right? But I'm happy with it, right? I'm finally happy with it. I'm going to hit save. It's there, right? You can update this. You can fix it whenever you want. All right, let's show you how this works then. So I will use my email for all this. So let me bring this down for the other two. And I will only email about Matthew and student B, right? Student A, I'm not going to send an email for, right? So Matthew is about to get an email about his no homework and having a great day. Student B is about to get an email about not having their homework. So to actually send these emails, what we are then going to do is we are going to go to send email campaign, and we are going to actually run mail merge. And you'll see what happens when we do that. So we'll get notifications as that is happening, right? So it's sending, it's sending, it's sending, it's creating a merge sheet telling me, hey, on 2/24 military time at 8 o'clock, we sent an email to these email addresses, right? On 2/24, a few seconds later, we sent an email to these email addresses. Right, when I go back to my merge sheet, it'll show me that, hey, this mail was sent, this mail wasn't because there was no email recipient, and this mail was sent, right? So right now, this mail or these mails have been sent to the email addresses that we provided. All right, now this is a daily thing, at least for me. So at the end of the day, right, I'm going to want to do this again tomorrow. So at the end of the day, right, I don't have to recreate this. All I need to do is make sure I delete the mail merge status, right, and then uncheck everything. And it's very easy to uncheck everything. If I highlight all my check boxes and I press the space bar, right, it'll check and uncheck, right? So that way you can uncheck, or, maybe you want your do not emails always checked, right? But you can use the space bar to speed up that process, right? And that is the basics on how you can use mail merge and checkboxes to automate emails for your students. And actually, these emails just came in, so I can show you them. Right, so this was the email for Matthew. We can see the title, right? Again, I know I didn't use proper English or grammar. Good day. This email is from Mr. Berbres, who is Matthew's math teacher, right? That was the column in there. The purpose of this email is for, and remember, we said we put in our columns there. So because Matthew did not turn today's homework and had a wonderful day, he got two responses in there. Whereas if I go to student B, we can see email for student B. This is an email who is student B's math teacher. We can see student B only got the one about not turning in today's homework. That's because, oops, I already deleted that, but that is because, right, we did not have that checked.